This is a quick video on how to use Prezi. I'm not even close to being an expert on this, but the videos that I've seen online I didn't really like, so decided to make my own. You have to set up an account first using an email and password. Make sure you remember which ones you use to get in. And then once you're in, you can now begin creating Prezis. So I tried this button, didn't work for me very well. So I tried this one and it worked rather well. So for now, we're going to use that one. And now it's going to load some templates that we can choose from. And the biggest thing you need to understand here is, what is it you're trying to say? What is your story? What are you trying to represent? If there's a progression, as in step 1, step 2, step 3, then you need to choose a template that has that kind of setup. All right. So here they have some fresh, which means I guess they're new, and then you've got the classic templates. All right. Now here is an example of a step-by-step thing, right? Whereas this is more of a random, where there's no one that's necessarily first or second or third, so you can kind of scatter them about. So you need to determine, what is it that you're trying to explain? What is your story? What is your deal here, right? So this is, again, something with a progression. And some of these seem rather random. So I'm going to choose one that's kind of sort of random, where not one is any necessarily more important than the other. Here's another progression, right, where you start with what you see at the tip, but then after that. So think it through before you choose the template. So I'm going to choose this template. So you click on it and then you use template, and then it loads up for you. Now, right off the bat, before you start, you need to understand they give you a main topic and they give you 4, we'll call them nodes. I'm sure they're called something else, but before you start working in here, you might want to add some. So if you know that you need 6, this is very not PowerPoint-ish. I kept thinking that I'd be able to add and get more, right? Once you click on one, the add button turns up, but if you hit add, you get a node inside a node, or a frame inside of a frame. So you may want a frame inside of a frame, kind of like in a bulleted list where you want a sub-bullet. Most of the time, it's not what I was wanting. I was wanting more frames. So if I hit new frame, you'll see what happens here. You get a frame in a frame. If you do that inadvertently, you can undo, but you need to undo 2 or 3 times before that goes away, and now it's gone. And now I don't want to focus on this area right now, so click on this, and then you come back out. In order to add more frames that you can have out here, you literally have to come up here and ask for to draw a circle frame. Not quite as user-friendly as I would have liked, to be honest. So, and I don't even know, I guess it doesn't matter that they're the same size. And now they've added that to the timeline. And now I can click on that, and I can zoom to it. If I want to add text, or image only, or image text, I really like this. The ability now to have a title, subtitle, and an image in the same frame is awesome. I love that. More on what we can add later, but if you wanted to go back and add some more, I would zoom out. So that's how you zoom out here, and I would add another one of those. There's no repeat, there's no easy, fast way. You literally have to come up here and draw another one in, right? So I'm drawing another one in, and I might want to move my title somewhere else, all right? And if you want to size this thing, you can zoom in on it and then click on it. It's a little hit and miss as far as what it does when you click on it. I find that a little difficult. And then I can do an image and text here as well. So I guess if I want to size it, I got to zoom out. There we go. So it took me a little while before I got what I wanted. Now, you're going to want arrows, right? Because these guys have arrows. I want arrows for these guys. So you literally have to insert your arrows as well. Now, what I found kind of weird, look at the big fat arrow I get. So you actually, once it's in, you have to edit your arrow. Try to match the size and the style that you get. You'd think that you'd get one exactly like they had, but you don't. And if you want it to be rounded, you simply move this little node right here, and then you can size it. So there's a lot of manipulation just to add another frame, whereas in PowerPoint, you would just click a plus sign and you'd get another, and they would position themselves. Not so here in Prezi. So you can go to any one of these guys, right, and zoom in, and then I can work on this thing. And one of the things you might want to do is say, listen, I want image and text here as well. And here's a great feature. To replace the image, watch this. It'll link automatically to Google, right? So if you want, if you're doing a presentation on food, let's say you want pictures of apples, well, it'll do a Google search in the images of Google. I love this feature. And then you can just click on one of these. Now, one of the problems you're going to find is the picture may not be the size that you wanted it to be. So you're going to need to do some cropping. I had this issue with one of my first ones. So if I hit replace now, it's going to replace that little picture that they gave us here with the picture that you chose with your Google search, which is built right into the Prezi. Love this feature. Now, if your picture doesn't look the way that you want it to, you can click on it and you can crop. And now it's showing you the original. See what your original looked like? And if you want your original, I had luck with this. I was able to just say, no, don't crop any of that. And then I think just clicking off, yeah, is what works. And then you can take that and position it. Very cool. Really like it. The other thing that you can do is you can insert YouTube clips in here. Also love this. So there's really no limit to how long your Prezi needs to be, because once you start throwing videos in here, it can get pretty intense and pretty long. So you would go to YouTube video, and you would simply paste in the link that you want. So from YouTube, I've already copied a link, so I'll paste it here, and then I'll go insert, and it gives me a frame from my video. I don't think it needs to be very big, because all you need to do, the people who want to watch this will be able to click on play and then just maximize it when they're ready for it. So pictures, YouTube clips, clip art, and just you're zooming. There's no zoom. You just click on this and then you're able to go to where you want. As far as changing the order, if you want to change the order of these things, it's simply a drag and drop. So in that sense, it's very PowerPoint-ish. You're able to move things around. A couple of other things. If you want to change the theme here, this one's just like a white. So if you wanted to make it change the theme, again, in this way, it's very PowerPoint-ish as well. Not sure I like that. Now, this is a web-based application, so you should be saving on a regular basis here. It'll do some automatic background saves as you're working, but you should be intelligent about this and save as you're working. When you're done, you're then going to want to share this. Now, the best way I've found is to simply get the link. So you would go share Prezi, and then you would either email this or put it on your website, whatever. So you would copy this link here and put it in an email or on a website where people can go, and that will bring them right to your Prezi, and they'll be able to run the Prezi to look at it. Now, when you're running a Prezi, I prefer to just scroll through in real time. You can have it play in an autoplay where you get so much time per. No. So here, by clicking this, it'll bring me from one to another. And again, here's your YouTube video. So if somebody wanted to watch this, they would just hit play. And I didn't zoom in. It zoomed in automatically. It did that on its own. So I just hit escape to get out of there. Okay? And escape, sadly, took me out of the show, which is probably not what you would have wanted to do. And then I guess if I wanted to start over, I'd have to go back to present. So those are some of the real basics that you need to know in order to get started in Prezi.